Hi, my name is Yuri. I write screenplays for fun. As an amateur, I've not sold anything, but I like to get them reviewed and then become a better writer. So what I wanted was to find a site or a community where I could send people my screenplays and then get a review. And often you will have to give a review to receive a review. So for example, if you use screenplay forums, for example on Reddit there's a screenplay forum that's pretty huge with 200,000 members. Then you can find people to exchange reviews with, and then you send them your script, they send their script to you, and then you exchange feedback this way. So you get some feedback on your script and you can know what to change or what not to change and how good it is, and which parts you should improve upon. Maybe in this script or maybe in your next one. And my problem with just exchanging reviews on these kind of forums is that very often, actually more likely than not, and pretty much not all the time, but very likely you will get a low quality feedback back. Because on these forums there's no, everyone can join these forums, everyone can write a script, everyone can exchange feedback. So if you are a good writer, if you have written 7 scripts already, then most likely a random user will have written 1 or less than 1 script's full feature. So the quality of feedback will often not be that high, and also some users will see it as a chance to get free feedback and give little in return. So maybe because they think their short feedback is good, or maybe because they don't really understand what feedback is, in-depth feedback, or maybe they just want to get some feedback and they see it as a possibility. And when they give feedback, they kind of just want to give something in return, just to get what they're searching for. So it's a big problem. And right now, when I exchange feedback on forums, I usually tell the other person to give me feedback first, because I already know how to give long and short feedback, so I can always adapt my feedback. And if I get really short feedback, which is pretty much a guarantee on exchange from persons in these kind of forums, then I will give them longer and better feedback, but not something that will be huge. Before I would give them huge feedback and then get really little in return. It was not really worth my time, because I would keep doing it. There are thousands of people who need feedback. So this is why I use these feedback sites. And do they work for feedback? Well, yes and no. There's no great site as such. And on Tallentville, I needed to wait like half a year or something like that, maybe 3 months, I don't know. But a really long time before I got my feedback. I did get it, and you will for sure get feedback on your script here, but you really need to wait months to get it. It won't be days. That's my experience, at least. Maybe other people have other experiences, and I have only uploaded 1 script so far. And this is what you do on Tallentville. It's a feedback site. So you give feedback to other people, you get talent dollars, fictional dollars, and you spend these dollars to get feedback from other people. So you kind of say, I want feedback on this script, and then you pay for it, and then you just wait a few months, and then you will get some feedback back. First thing you do is, my review assignments. So first you need some dollars. You don't have any dollars, so you kind of mark the points you want to mark, and then you see if you want the assignment, and then if you don't want it, you just say no, and then you have another option. So you always can say no every 24 hours to 1 script. Then you get some assignments, you give some feedback. And when you do that, you get points. Let's see, my reviews are here. I gave this feedback and I got points for all these feedback stuff. And this is the rating I gave him. he needs. I thought there was some things that I wanted to be improved upon, but I think there's a potential in this script overall. There's potential in writing, structure, very very good writing structure, but there was also some things that that wasn't to my liking, and I gave him this feedback, and I think probably the writer gave me a 5-star out of 5 in return. That's pretty good. If you get under 2 stars on your profile overall, then if you have that for more than 30 days, I think, then you will have problems with maintaining your profile on this site. So you need to keep your writing score all over 2. So for example, if this is another one, I also got 5 from this. Usually if you give a good review, you will get a 5-star rating from the writer, and usually when you're positive, then you'll get a high rating. That's my experience at least. So if you, I think mostly it's not about the review, but mostly it's about the score. So if you give a high enough score, you will get a high rating, and if you give low score, you'll get a low rating. But I'm not sure, it's just my experience on the site. For example, on this, I gave a low rating, only 4, and then I get 2 reviews back, and they're very very low. And I don't know if my feedback is this terrible, because one gave me 1 star, the other one gave me 2 stars. So maybe my review itself is terrible, but it could also just be that the writer doesn't want to get the low score. You cannot know what is what and how people will react to your. This one got really really low score. So it happens. But as long as I keep over 2, and I can see here, let's see, do I keep over 2? Oh no, it's not here. But anyway, here you can see the average rating on scripts. It's about 5 point something, and there are only a few scripts that get high ratings. Then you can see how many scripts have purchased a review and how many are signed already, and then you can see other stuff and rating stuff. I can see me on this list of top reviewers for this 2 months or something like that. And then when you go to the head, you can see my average score. It's not that it's under 4, but it's not. I just have to stay over 2, and that's pretty much guaranteed now, because I have a lot of short scripts I also rated, so I got a lot of 5s from them. So I stay high on this. And then I have some talent dollars I can use. I use them like this. Now I can submit a script, and then I wait months to get some feedback. Or maybe not months if it's a very fascinating script. So now I got 2 feedbacks on this script. And these are 1 feedback here. It's not great, but it's something. It's better than you would get from a script feedback exchange on a forum. And then I got this feedback. It's much longer. He did spend a lot of time and energy giving me this feedback, and he went over stuff and details in the story. But I think I gave him 4 because he I couldn't use this feedback to improve my script. I understood that he had read it, and understood that he had some questions about some storylines and stuff like that, but I couldn't use this feedback to improve my script. When I read this feedback, I didn't understand what he wanted and didn't want for this particular script for me to remove or change or stuff like that, move around, stuff like that. So for that, I give a great rating for. Would also get a few pointers to what to do with the script, but maybe he just didn't know what I could do with the script, and that's also fair. I probably should have given him 5. If I could change it, I would give him 5. I was really confused, and then I thought, but why I can't really use it to improve my script, and this I cannot really use this feedback to improve my script either. It's mostly he just tells me to read this book. So yeah, it's not really that useful. But yeah, you'll get feedback like this, and then pay for more feedback, you get more feedback. And there's also a forum, and there's also actually what I like also too, that besides the forum you can also write text message here. I have complained about random low scores. For example, I had a really long feedback, old feedback, that was usually I got really high scores on, but then suddenly someone just gave me a really low rating on that feedback, even though I had received positive notes on that feedback from the writer himself. So I complain about these kind of random low scores, but I think that it's just part of the site. I think some people, they troll, or some people don't like when you give them low scores and stuff like that. So you cannot really know what's going on there. There's also a script of the month and stuff like that. It's if you buy an account. So if you buy an account, you can have more than one script active. Right now I can only request feedback on one script at a time, and then I have to wait 3 months, then I can place another script on the side. So it's really the system is really slow. I wish it was much faster, because waiting 3 months for feedback is too much for me. But I like that people can vote on my feedback and everyone can read it. I really love that system. And you can pay to get the full site experience. Right now the site is not fully functioning for me because I don't have a paid user. So I'll rate it maybe 6.5 out of 10 stars, because it's good, and it's good for giving feedback. It's very good for giving feedback. If you want just to get a random script and give them feedback and learn from that, that's amazing for that. And then when you get feedback, it's not that good for that, because the waiting time is just too much. That's just my experience. Well, let's see what else you have. If you want a bit faster feedback, you can just pay here. You can pay more tokens, so that's really good for Coverfly. You go to this side, and then if you on Tallentville, I can only pay the tokens for the pages my script is that automatically are paid. So for example, if my script is 100 pages long, I'll probably pay $16, and I cannot pay $17 or $18 to get faster feedback, right? So the system is broken like this because let's say I want to review 10 scripts, and then I want to buy only one feedback for these 10 scripts, but I want it in 3 days because I really need this feedback in 3 days. I cannot do that. So for them it's broken because you cannot spend extra dollars on getting it faster versus just getting it slower. But here on Coverfly you can just spend more tokens. So if one token is not enough, for me 1 token is not nearly enough. I'll wait for 3-4 tokens because I give really long feedbacks. So I read in depth, and I go into plot and character when I give feedback. So I want more tokens for the quality of work I feel I'm doing. And this is what you do: just give feedback, get tokens, and use these tokens. As you can see, I got a really low rating on one feedback I gave, and a very mediocre rating on the other feedback I gave, and I'm very dissatisfied with it. I wrote the site owner and said that I actually gave a great feedback here, and I went in depth. I did give the writer a low score, so maybe they were offended and gave me a low score too. But I felt that my feedback was good, but the writer didn't contact me, so I don't know why they gave me a low score. But right now I can only right now I have a low score, so when people request pair notes, they can say that they only want notes from people who have as many stars as they have or more. So there's a lot of people requesting feedback that I cannot see because I have low stars. So I've complained to the site owners, but they have not done anything about it. But they have promised me to change the site and make sure that this will not happen again. And now when you give the lowest score to a feedback, there will be on that there will be a text telling you that you cannot give the lowest score for feedback that is actual feedback. So unless you think it's terrible and cannot be used in any way, you cannot give it half a star or 1 star, then you need to give it more. So this rating is, of course, will be impossible to give me now, but it was possible before, and I want it removed. But let's see what they will do, because right now they are remaking the whole site because it's broken this way. There are a lot of very low ratings on actual feedback. So in 2 months time we will see if it's fully functioning or not. Get pair nodes, again I use 3 tokens, probably a bit too much because it was claimed right away the same day. And this is the feedback I got for 3 tokens. It's not that deep, it's not something I can use to rewrite the script, but I can just get a feeling of what he thought about the script and what his thoughts were while he read the script. So I don't know if he is how good a writer he is or stuff like that, but he did give me some deeper thoughts than I usually get from exchanging feedback. And now I have spent 3 more points and I will get more feedback. And the people giving me feedback will just get 3 points no matter what. Unless they give me fake feedback, they will get 3 points. So even if they give me terrible feedback and I rate it 2 stars, they will still get the points and I've spent them. And then that for me is also a problem, because right now I only have these 3 options to get tokens. So for example here I have to read 100 pages to get 1 token, and then I have to do it, I have to give feedback on all these 3 scripts to get my 3 tokens back. So right now they're not offering me enough, and there are no other way to get tokens for me right now. So this Coverfly, I give it, I don't know, for this one rating, I thought it was okay. It's not deep enough. I cannot really use it to rewrite my script, but I'm really satisfied with it. I think it gave me some new view on my script, and I got it like the next day because I paid a lot of tokens for it. So for that I'm really satisfied. It's higher quality than just exchanging feedback, because they do still want to get a few stars on their account, and so they can use the stars and stuff like that. But the site is not fully functioning. It's kind of broken, but it does work and it's okay. Maybe 5.5 out of 10 or something like that. 5 out of 10, I don't know. Then Zoetrope, completely broken. I'll probably give it a 3 out of 10. You're better off just exchanging feedback. First you have to give feedback on 4 scripts. That's why you see a lot of feedback here, because especially when the scripts are short, then a lot of people read them and give feedback. But what quality of the feedback is, I cannot say, because it's not really rated as such. So you just give feedback and you get a point, and then when you have 4 points, you can upload a script to this list and it will be on this list, and people can also select that script to get one of the 4 points. So I guess it works, and I guess people read the scripts and kind of give a short note of what they thought about the script, but you cannot be sure. I uploaded my script and then I deleted it because I wanted to upload a new version, but now I cannot upload a new version. So I need to review 1 more script, then I can upload a new script. And the feedback I got on that was really short. The guy, he only read 20 pages, so was not really satisfied not really what I wanted. And my reviews are here. So for example, you can see my feedback here. This is not terribly long, but it's still, I think it's much better than the one I got. And I think maybe this is really low. That's not much I've written there. This is more, but yeah, you cannot know if I will come along and give you this feedback, or someone else will come along and give you a few notes on the first 15 pages. So that's why I think the system is broken. No, only the reader can read the feedback. That's a huge problem. So Zoetrope, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 maybe, because it does work, but yeah, it's hard to use. There's also a forum, so you can find users there. I think maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe 4 out of 10. The forum is nice because Coverfly doesn't have a forum, so you cannot really communicate as much. You can just send, the one receiving feedback can send a message, and then you can send messages back and forth. But usually when people give you feedback, they don't really respond to messages. That's my experience. And actually, when I give people feedback and then send me a message, I always give them more feedback. Just automatically, just I have more thoughts after I gave them the feedback. Maybe I made some mistakes, stuff like that. So I give them a lot more feedback, and then they usually don't respond. People don't really want feedback as such on average, but they want an opinion of if the script is good, and if it's bad, they really don't want to. It's hard for them to accept it. So people want their writing to be seen mostly on average, and to get an opinion and to get a positive opinion on it. That's my experience. And then you have then you have this side again. You have some points to spend. You spend them on reviews, and you get a review, and everyone can read the review. That's pretty cool. My problem with the site is that there are some functions that were not on this site. I couldn't, for example, delete my script and stuff like that. Now I could do it now because the owner is constantly working on it, and it's only a few months old. But there are some few functions that are missing, and it's good that he has a community, because then I can tell him about the problems I have with the site. But it's much better already now. It has much more functions than Zoetrope, and it's much better site. But there are no reviews. This is probably the only review or something. So a mother is diagnosed with a terminal cancer. So yeah, some of the scripts are not interesting at all, so I don't click on them. And I also don't need points because I already have points. So basically I'm asking for reviews on some scripts. Now I deleted them, but before I asked for reviews, and I waited for months and months and months, and nothing came of it. So and I also cannot give them more points. So while the system is here, and you can upload scripts for free and can review for free, then no one really is using the site for one reason or the other. I think mostly it's because on here, Coverfly, it's a big site, and they marketed well for the site, so they had a lot of users. So here the tokens are worth something. Everyone wants tokens, and everyone wants as many tokens as possible, because they know they can spend tokens, and they know they can offer more tokens for a script, so they know they can get a review back fast. But on Script Modder, the points are useless. Even if I had 100 points, I wouldn't get a review because no one is reviewing anything. So yeah, this is my discussion of the review sites. Script Modder not useful yet for you. You can upload your script and ask for feedback, but probably won't. Nothing will happen. Zoetrope, it's good for beginners because there's a forum and you can do short reviews, and then you can paste your script and hope you get some short reviews. But the time I've spent on Zoetrope is a lot of time. I've really spent a lot of time reading scripts in detail and going over everything and giving high quality feedback. And then I gotten pretty much nothing back in return as of now. So yeah, it's good for giving reviews. And then Coverfly, I mean, you can get a short opinion, but it's not much. And Tallentville, the feedback on average is high quality because everyone can rate it, so everyone can rate it high or low. But you will have to wait a lot of time because the dollars are fixed, so you cannot give more or fewer dollars to get the feedback faster. You'll just have to wait alongside everyone else. And since you can buy talent dollars, a lot of people could just buy them and then request feedback. So that also means that more people are requesting feedback than really giving feedback right now. There's a lot of people here, as you can see. So many are requesting feedback, and also only these are assigned. And some days there are a lot of reviews, some days not that many. So yeah, this is my discussion of the review sites, of these 4 main review sites. There are of course many more small review sites and many just forums for reviews or stuff like that, but I would just suggest finding one you think is good and then using three of them maybe, and not the ones that don't have any users, and then see where you go from there, and then also exchange a few feedback on forums and chat forums and stuff like that. So thank you.